What's up guys? In today's video we're going to be swapping out the limbs on my Hoyt RX8 Ultra from the 60 to 70 pound limbs to the 70 to 80 pound max limbs. One of the main reasons why I'm swapping them out is I'm a bigger guy. I'm 6'2", 275 pounds, and I'm just not going to be shooting this bow at 60 pounds in the foreseeable future. So I can shoot 70 pounds, no problem. When it's cold, hunting, whatever. I can pull 70 pounds, no problem. So I figured, why not get the 70 to 80 pound limbs, and worst case scenario, I can just back it off to 70 pounds and it's like nothing ever changed. Or if I want the extra speed, want the extra power, I can turn them up to 80 pounds. So we're gonna be doing some tests. Before I swap the limbs out, I'm gonna do a arrow speed test and an arrow drop, arrow trajectory test at 50 yards. So basically I've got two different arrow setups. This one is an Easton 5.0. It's got a 4-fletch setup, 100 grain field point with just stock match grade internals, weighing in at right about 434 grains. My other arrow setup is also an Easton 5.0. The other arrow was a 300 spine. This one is a 250 spine, 3-fletch setup, 75 grain half out, still with a 100 grain tip, weighing right about 505 grains. So I want to see what kind of a difference there is at 50 yards between the two arrows. So I'm going to take the 434 grain arrow, shoot for the bullseye, hopefully hit the bullseye because that's what everything's sighted in for right now. And then I'm going to take the 500 grain arrow and aim for the same spot and see how far the arrow drops. I'm going to do that before and after we change the limbs. Is the difference in the two going to be less with the 80 pound limbs? I don't know. Is it going to be the same, just shoot all of them higher? I also don't know. So that's why we're going to be doing this test. So before we get started with any kind of tests, I just want to show you guys that this bow, as it sits, is tuned to both of these arrows. I'm going to shoot them through paper right here and just show you that the bow is shooting good. And then I also want to check whenever we swap the limbs out, I'm going to put the same shims, everything exactly how it was, only change the limbs. And I want to see if the bow is still in tune, or if these Hoyt limbs may have a little bit of difference in them. So I'm gonna show you guys that this one's tuned, and then I'll see you after that. All right, so here goes the 434 grain arrow through paper. Okay, that looks like a perfect bullet hole. Here goes the 505 grain arrow. I'll shoot right next to it. Looks pretty good. So this is the 434 grain arrow, and this is the 505 grain arrow. 434 grain looks about as perfect as you can get. The 500 grain may have a little bit of low left tear, but not too bad. All right, so now that you can see that the bow is in tune for these arrows, I'll meet you outside and we're gonna do the speed test and the arrow drop test with the 70 pound limbs. Okay, this is going to be the arrow speed and drop test at 50 yards. We're not so much looking for group size here. We're looking for where the group is averaging height-wise. So without further ado, here's arrow 1, 434 grains at 50 yards. So that arrow went 297.1 feet per second. Arrow 2 297.7 feet per second. All right, last arrow of the 434 grain. $297.1. So I'll put the exact average on the screen right here, but it looks like it's around 297 feet per second, which that's not bad. I mean, 434 grains. I've got a 31¼ inch draw length, pulling 70 pounds. So arrow number 1 of 505 grain. Again, I didn't touch my sight. I'm gonna be putting the pin exactly in the same place that I was putting the lighter arrows. I just wanna see how far the arrows drop. 505 grain, arrow 1. That went 278.6 feet per second. $278.6 feet per second again. Last arrow, 505 grains. $278.3. So again, I'll put the exact average somewhere on the screen, but 278, so it looks like we dropped roughly 20 feet per second. That's honestly better than what I was expecting. I was expecting like 260s probably, but I'm gonna go get my arrows and I'll see you guys back at the camera. Well, as you guys can hopefully see from the video, that 20 feet per second difference really wasn't that big of a difference at 50 yards. I didn't bring a tape measure out there, but my best guess would be 5 or 6 inches low on average from the center of the bullseye. That's not as much as I was expecting. I was honestly expecting like twice that much. Going up from 434 to 505 grains. Yeah, so only about 5 inches difference. That's pretty interesting. So I'll see you guys upstairs. We're gonna go ahead and get these limbs changed out to the 80 pounders. All right guys, it's a different day, as you may notice from my shirt, but we got the limbs in this box. But before we swap them out, I just wanted to show you that my bow is pulling 70 pounds. So got a scale, it's set on 0 right now. Let's go ahead and pull the bow back. And I'll show you 70.2. Hopefully you can see that. 70.2. So I'm gonna go ahead, start a time lapse and get these limbs changed over. I'll see you when I'm done. About 10 maybe 15 minutes is all it took, and check that out. Wha-bam! I went with the black limbs just because I think it would look super cool, and I think it does. And not that I'm ever really gonna have both sets of limbs off the bow at the same time, but I wanted to be able to easily tell them apart. But yeah, what do you guys think about that? Yeah, buddy. Black on gray with the silver strings, gas bow strings. Man, this thing is looking sick. But anyway, it's time. We're gonna test and see what kind of draw weight it's at now. $80.14. I don't exactly remember what it was before, but it was 70 and some change. So 80-pound limbs, just like I suspected. I'm gonna shoot it through some paper. I didn't change anything with the shims. The shims and everything are exactly the same. I made sure to keep the cables and everything twisted the same, so it should stay in time. But I'm just gonna verify that, check timing. I'm gonna shoot it through paper, and then I'll let you guys know my results and what kind of difficulty it may have taken to get this thing back in tune. All right, guys, the bow is back in tune. It was really close initially. It just took a few shots. Here, I'll show you. This was my very first shot right here. So you can see a little low right knock tear. And here's my progression. Ended up getting a little bit closer here, but went the wrong direction with my setup, so I ended up getting worse. But these 3 shots are my last 3 shots. That one is about as good as you can get. This one, I think it's a little bit knock right tear, but I was shaking. By this time I was shaking. And then that one right there is my last one. So I'm pretty happy with that. Of course, I could spend hours and hours and hours trying to tune this thing absolutely perfect, and I probably will spend some more time just trying to get it perfectly dialed in. But for right now, I think that's plenty good to continue our testing outside with the speed testing and the 50-yard arrow drop test. So I'll see you guys outside. It's gonna be the same test as the first one. I'm gonna shoot 3 arrows of my light arrow setup from 50 yards and 3 arrows from my heavy arrow setup at 50 yards. Now, I'm kind of anticipating that these light arrows are gonna hit high. I don't know how high, but I'm gonna aim for the red dot. Yeah, I'm gonna aim for the red dot. We'll just, or the white dot. We'll see what it looks like. Okay, that shot was 316.3 feet per second. So if I remember correctly, before it was 297. That one was 316.1. I was shaking a little bit. I pulled that shot. Definitely have a little bit more holding weight. I'm gonna have to get my body conditioned to that for sure. That one's 315.5. I think that one might have broke a little high also. I've got it set at 80% let off. It's not on 85, but I'm going to shoot another 3 arrows of the 500 grain. .296. So that means now this bow is shooting a 500 grain arrow the same speed that it used to shoot a 434 grain arrow. Let's shoot again. .296.8. The reason why my shots are hitting left is I had to move my arrow rest just a little bit to the left to get it to tune real good. All right, arrow 3. That one broke a little bit high, 295.6. So that's pretty interesting. At 70 pounds, this bow would shoot a 434 grain arrow 297 feet per second. But set to 80 pounds, it shot a 505 grain arrow, basically the same speed, within 1.5 feet per second average. So that's pretty freaking sweet. I wonder if I can use the same sight tape that I had before, but now I'm shooting heavier arrows, heavier poundage. I wonder if it's gonna work out the same. Maybe I need to do a part 2 with this video and shoot some little bit longer distances. Let me know in the comments what you think. Well, there you have it, guys. That's the best test that I know of on YouTube to test a 70 versus 80 pound bow. Every other video you watch, they take, it may be the same make, same model bow, but one's 70 pounds and one is 80 pounds. In this video, I took the same bow, same strings, same everything, and just changed the limbs, and you got to see the results between a 70 and an 80 pound bow and what you can realistically expect, at least out of the RX-8 Ultra. I was pretty impressed, and I'm excited to see that now with the 80 pound limbs, it's shooting the heavier arrows basically the same exact speed as the lighter arrows set on 70 pounds. I'm gonna continue practicing and continue shooting to see if my sight tape is still good out to 100+ yards. And I'm pretty excited that it's shooting basically the same speed, just with way more energy on target. So let me know in the comments what you thought about the video. Please like, please subscribe. Most of you that are watching this video are probably not subscribed, so please subscribe to my channel. Hit that like button, and thank you guys for watching so much. Keep on the lookout for more content on the channel coming soon. Hunting season's just around the corner. See you guys next time.